So in a course called Managing Servers, the first question that you probably have is, what is a server? How is it different from another computer? What makes it so special? Why do we care? What's it for? Let's explore that question a little bit further. Well, first and foremost, you got to realize that a simple definition of a server is merely a computer that offers a service. So in that sense, almost any computing device out there, whether it be a Raspberry Pi, a laptop, a desktop, or a rack mount server, can be called a server because it is in fact offering a service. Well, you say, well, what services might it offer? One of the most common services that servers offer today is web pages. We use those quite frequently. A web server is just a computer, a file storage device, that responds to HTTP or HTTPS requests for web pages, and it offers that service. Any computer can actually become a web server. A Raspberry Pi, for example, you can install the HTTP service on a Raspberry Pi and it can serve web pages. Similarly, your desktop or laptop, you can install an HTTP service on it and provide that service to the network, and you have turned your computer into a server. Okay, we've solved the problem. There is no difference between a desktop and a server, you might say. But in fact, there is. Realize that while your computer could be a server, it can provide that service, it's not necessarily designed to do the best job at it. For example, if Amazon.com, a company that makes a ton of money based on their server infrastructure and their storefront, if they were to rely solely on desktop equipment to house all of their computing capacity and their storefront website, they would lose a lot of money due to downtime because that device is not designed to handle that sort of load. Okay? Think about how often a desktop reboots or crashes. Every time that happens, that storefront, that service that they're offering would be unavailable. And it's because of that need for what we call 24/7, 365 uptime, constant uptime, that servers are so different from standard desktop hardware. They're going to have redundancy built in order to prevent that downtime. They're going to be designed with higher performance parts in order to provide that service to a larger number of people. They're going to be built to a higher level of quality control in order to prevent faulty parts from causing a failure of that system. Operating systems are going to be designed more specifically for that 24/7, 365 operation, and they're not going to be required to reboot as frequently in order to reduce the amount of downtime that a server has. So to summarize, a server is simply a computer that offers a service, but because we want that service to be readily available 24/7, we put a lot more effort into the hardware, software, networking, and security of those servers in order to make them special. Another advantage to servers, which is really a byproduct of our desire to increase performance and stability, is their density. We can get a lot more performance in a smaller footprint with server hardware than we typically can with desktop hardware. This includes things like rack mount servers, blade servers, and multi-CPU systems that have significantly more performance than our typical desktop computer. Throughout this course, we're going to be looking at the specialized hardware, software, operating systems, and networking that are required to provide a stable server system, a platform that's useful 24/7, 365 with maximum uptime, minimum downtime. A system that is optimized for a particular workload, whether that be a game server, a file server, a web server, a network infrastructure server, or maybe a directory services server. We're going to look at what it takes to run these types of systems and how they're used today.